Yeah. So I've been told there are two types of kayak fishermen in this world, those who have flipped their kayak and those who are about to flip
Not a
their
bad
kayak.
fish.
Well, I have now joined the ranks of those who have flipped their kayak, even though technically this kayak wasn't mine. Yeah. Before we get into the summary of what, why, and how things happened, I want to go over what went through my mind as I was flipping. Did I panic? Yeah, I panicked a little bit. Honestly, when I was going over, I accepted it. Once I got into that 52-degree cold water for probably 35, 45 seconds, a little bit of panic. I shouted for Ryan to come help. Then I used my brain, told myself to chill out and that everything was going to be fine. That initial plunge and adrenaline kicked in, and I was like, ooh, I'm no longer in a kayak. This is an issue. Luckily, Ryan came right over. He helped keep me calm while remaining calm himself, and we came up with the best plan to get me back upright and back in the yak, and then we executed that plan. Normally, I kayak fish alone, and in this situation, I was super happy that I was out there with somebody else. It made things a lot easier for me. I strongly encourage anybody, if you're fishing in big water, not to fish alone. You should probably fish with somebody else. Honestly, it made things a lot easier when something goes wrong. I want to address this. I posted a couple shorts on various platforms of the actual flipping of the kayak. Some people had some comments to say of, I don't know why you didn't just flip and jump back in. A couple people were like, if you can't just jump back into the kayak, you shouldn't be out there. I just want to address that. We made a decision to go into the shallows because they were pretty close, rather than try to flip the kayak and get back in. I was back in the kayak within 7 minutes of flipping. It felt like a half an hour to me. It felt like forever until I was in the kayak, but I went back, watched the footage. 7 minutes from the time that I flipped until I was back in the kayak with as much of my gear as we could recover. I think that is a reasonable time to be fully recovered from flipping the kayak. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about what got me into the water in the first place. One of the first things that we can think about is I wasn't using my kayak. I was using Ryan's Big Water PDL. It's a much larger kayak than what I'm used to, and I think subconsciously I just assumed bigger meant way more stable, and when in reality it's probably has the same stability as my 10-foot Makana. Two totally different hulls. One's made for stability, but it's a smaller kayak. This was a bigger kayak made for big water. But again, same stability, but I treated the boat as if it was bigger and more stable, and didn't kind of respect that center of gravity and the things that can go wrong on the water. That's on me. Secondly, I sat broadside to the wind and waves. I know better than that. When the wind's blowing and you have waves, what do? You point the bow towards where the energy's coming from. So not only did I sit broadside to where the energy was coming from, I shifted a majority of my gravity to the opposite side. Therefore, I had two factors going against me. Energy coming from the left, weight on the right. I flipped on the right. Is that the only reason I flipped? I'm not sure, but I went back, watched the replay in slow motion, and you can see the kayak as the small waves pushed it further and further. The more I pushed, the more to the right it went until I tipped. So it wasn't even a sudden thing where I realized it, felt it, tried to correct it. By the time I tried to correct it, I already knew I was going over. Is it possible there was other factors? Maybe. Watching the video back and watching what happened when we recovered, there was a lot of large seaweed on the kayak. Is it possible that some seaweed got caught up or wrapped around the prop or the skeg? Maybe. Is it likely? I really don't know. Again, this was an impeller drive. I have a fin drive. My fin drive doesn't get stuff really stuck in it ever. But when we flipped the kayak back over, I had a lot of large seaweed wrapped up around my Yak Attack camera stick. So maybe that was also a factor. Who knows? To be honest, I don't think there was any one specific reason why I tipped. I think it was a couple smaller factors that, you know, is easy to fix to prevent it from happening again, I would say. That all combined together to me being in the water with fish instead of up on top of the kayak catching them. We'll never know. We just know that it happened, and I'll do my best to make sure that that was the only time that it happens. So moving on, what did I lose? I'm going to post a list, and let's go over it. So I lost a rod. Wasn't a great rod. It was an ugly stick, $70, $60, $70 rod. You know, but hey, I lost anything that I lost is a big deal to me. I had a nice Daiwa BG on that. I lost lures, terminal tackle, soft plastics, fishing accessories. I lost pliers, lip grips, that kind of thing. The most important thing that we lost, according to some, would be the pink pony rod. It's the pink kids rod that my live stream chat can redeem and have me use sometimes. We have some good times with that. We have some laughs. All of those items, which were the fishing related items, total up to around $660. I managed to recover all of my electronics, but not all of my electronics were waterproofed. My box that I stored them in was not fully waterproofed. Unfortunately, it had a leak in it, and I lost a bunch of my electronic equipment. The only thing that really survived was my DJI action cams. That list included cables, the Nighthawk router, power bank. The meta glasses survived, but my charging case for it didn't survive. And unfortunately, charging case is like $100. My mic minis survived, but they got corroded. They no longer work. My spare batteries for the DJI didn't make it, along with the charger for those spare batteries. And that stuff totaled $546 to replace. So the total of equipment compromised was about $1,200, which might not seem a lot to some of you, but if you've been following my channel or my live stream this year, you know that I've been out of work since last December. So $1,200 is a significant loss right now. So that was very unfortunate. That was honestly the only real bad part about flipping was the equipment lost. Losing gear isn't a good thing. So now I have changed some things or made a plan to change things to help mitigate this from happening in the future. I did sulk for a few days that I had lost fishing gear or streaming gear, and then immediately got to making changes and planning how to prevent it from happening again in the future. So far, I've waterproofed my electronics box. It's now a fully waterproof box with IPX6 plugs in it. So if I have to charge something, I plug it into the box instead of opening the box and getting the box exposed to water. So those are some safety things that I have added to the kayak build to help out right now. Things that I have planned: getting a new kayak crate that has a lid on it, or putting a lid on my milk crate. Ideally, a fully contained crate would be nice once I can afford it, as well as everything gets tethered. My electronics box gets tethered. My backpack gets tethered. I tethered down all of the equipment. I'm going to get some tethers for my fishing rods that I'm not fishing with as well. I'm not going to tether everything or put a lot of tethers in the front where I'm sitting, because if I were ever to flip, I don't want to get caught in a bunch of tethers. So within reason, I'm going to try to make sure that I can keep all my gear with me within reason. Another thing is I'm going to consider what I'm wearing when I go out in the kayak. Does it make sense? I don't think that the boots were necessarily wrong to have out on the kayak, but I did not expect them to operate the way that they did. There's probably some better alternatives. I've seen people go out kayak fishing with waders on. With just the neoprene boots and how they acted, I can't imagine that going out with waders is safe, but to each their own, I guess. But I will definitely be more mindful of what I'm wearing when I go out, depending on the conditions for sure going forwards. That's another thing, another takeaway from this incident. At the end of the day, did flipping the kayak keep me off the water, or is it going to stop me from kayak fishing? The answer is no. I've still been getting out on my kayak. I've still been fishing in both saltwater and freshwater. To wrap up the video, I want to first give a big shout out to Ryan from Saltworks Bay for inviting me out to go fish with him and make sure that I got home safe. Guys, make sure to go over and give him a follow on his channel at Saltworks Bay here on YouTube. I also want to shout out the Dadlife community, the Twitch community, as well as the other fishing creators in my area who stepped up by either donating gear or funds to help me get back streaming and recording and fishing. Honestly, if it wasn't for your support, I probably would have hung up creating content and live streaming. You know, again, the $1,200 for me was a big thing, and to those who stepped up to help get me back out, I am forever thankful to all of you. I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and if you missed part 1, go over to the channel, go check out part 1. But if you like the content, make sure you like this video, go subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, I'm going to leave my link tree in this description of the video, and I'll see you guys all next time.
It's worth it. Worth the content, I think.
Did it on purpose, Mom.